this is Gobekli Tepe. It was first built in 9600 BCE. And this is considered the world's first temple. It's the first temple that we discovered. We can assume that wherever humans go, they will build temples. Because, as I mentioned last class, humans are first and foremost religious. They express themselves through, they express their religion through art, architecture, music, dance, okay? And it's an amazing achievement because these pillars, okay, they're really tall. So we don't know how they were able to move these pillars into place, okay? You can see how small people are and how big this is. But if you think about what we said about having a vision and then working together to achieve this vision, then it makes more sense, okay? So let's discuss how they were able to build Gobekli Tepe. And this process is important for us to understand because it repeats itself throughout human history, okay? So let's go over the process. Okay, the first is that there's always a charismatic leader. It could be a man, it could be a woman, but he or she has a vision for creating a temple, a place of God. Okay, that's what a temple is. It's a place for God to live on earth. And he shares this vision with everyone, and everyone works hard to achieve this vision. Okay? But then the leader dies, and now you have different people competing to be the new leader. Okay? Why? Because a temple, and it's really important for you guys to remember, a temple is always the most valuable real estate on earth. Okay? If you are in a temple, people come to pray to you, right? So they have to give you gifts, they have to give you tribute. So what's happening in this time is that they would organize a religious festival once or twice a year. And people would have to bring gazelle, had to bring food as a tribute to the priests. And then they would celebrate it together, and then they would feast. Okay? So if you're able to control this temple, you lived a very good life. You were a very powerful person. Okay? And so when the first leader died, you would have a succession crisis, and they would vote who the next leader would be. And so what happened is they would have these trials where they prove to each other who the gods favored. Okay? So it's possible, maybe there are two hills. Okay? You stand on one hill, I stand on another hill, and we'll see where the bird lands. If the bird lands on my hill, then the gods favor me. Okay? Because at this time, humanity believed that the mother goddess ruled over all. Because as humans at this time, you're concerned about two things, right? You're first concerned about farming, agriculture, fertility. And then you're concerned about having babies. Okay? So that's why the mother goddess was important, because the mother goddess provided fertility for everyone. Okay? But then over time, what they realized is, you know what? We can just cheat. Okay? And how do you cheat? You cheat by forming secret societies. Okay? By getting people to follow you, and then you swear blood oaths to each other, and you also maybe have sex with each other, and you become a faction. Okay? And this led to a lot of political conflict. And the way they often settle this dispute or debate is through human sacrifice. Okay? So if your faction lost, you'd all be sacrificed. And we know this because under Gobekli Tepe, there are tombs, okay, of human remains. So we assume that these people lost a power struggle, and as such, they were all sacrificed together. Okay? So in other words, power struggle, political conflict, religious dispute, human sacrifice, secret society, they go all the way back to human society, okay? All right, so this is Gobekli Tepe today. Again, you can get on a plane, fly to Turkey, and then go visit Gobekli Tepe. Now, one thing that's really important for us to understand is that with our architecture, there's mythology in place, okay? And here we assume the mythology is the mother goddess with a bird in the sky, and this might be a human skull, okay? So there's a very complex, diverse mythology in place. We don't know what it is, okay? But they had a sophisticated mythology. And also, remember, humans are diverse. So once the mythology becomes established, new people come to establish a competing mythology, okay? So this place is called Gobekli Tepe. And as you can see, the mythology of this place, it's different. But these places are very close to each other. Okay, so this is maybe the cult of the skull. And the idea here is when people die, you can still communicate with them in the spirit world if you have their skull, okay? Almost the skull becomes a portal into the afterworld, okay? So you can draw on their wisdom, you can draw on their spirit with the skull. And this called the skull, we see this in many ancient cultures, including in China.